It's Berlin, 1 round and 4 deals as usual, and I'm developing a new student. He's with white belt, and I already earned another green stripe. Another green stripe on my white belt, and after 2 green stripes I'll get green belt. What's this now? That's interesting. That's very interesting. Let's try collecting an outside hand now. I have four forms, or 4 vertices, some people say. 4 outside hand, and I can declare punks of greens and 9. Maybe I'll leave 1's dots as my eyes now. As long as another 1 dots may be somewhere deep in the wall. Let's see, maybe I'll pick another red. I don't need pair of 2's. Maybe I'll collect 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Maybe not, because you see the player to my right discards 1's cracks which I need for my outside hand. By the way, the player to my right has brown belt with 1 black stripe. That's what I aim for. I want to make brown belt with 1 black stripe for this my student. Okay. The opposite player has brown belt with 1 black stripe as well. The player to my left has just white belt with 1 green stripe. That's the belt which you take by default. Earlier at this portal Mahjong time, you were given just white belt, plain white belt, without any stripes. But some years ago they changed to 1 green stripe for newbies. No. What about useful wins? Not east, not south. No, I don't need wins, you see. All wins discarded twice, north discarded 3 times. So I just want to take some dragons and terminals. Maybe the player to my left will give me 2 dots, 1 BAMs. I am waiting for 1 BAMs, maybe they will be my eyes. Not an easy hand. And it collects not very often. It has some very small percents in collecting. 3 can be useful for 3, 4, 5. Twos are already out of the game, so 3 can be useful for Chow 3, 4, 5 only. Okay, this one. I would rather hope for either 1, 2, 3 BAMs or 7, 8, 9 BAMs. Yes, Very nice. Let's calculate. Outside hand is a tricky one. It costs only 4 points, and you need some more points to win. Outside hand 4, Bang of Dragons 2, that's 6. Bang of Nines 7. Mix double chow 8. And edge weight 9. 9 points. Of course you don't count flowers. You must reach 8 points without flowers. And I have 9. If I'll take this 7 from the wall, I'll have 10 points. 1 more point for self-drawn. The last one cracks was there. So she discarded 1. Maybe she wants something about middle tiles. Okay, another 1 point. Another 1 point for me, for Melded Kong. And where can be all 7s bams? Aha, here it is. 2 7s were to my left. Aha, he discarded another 7. He wanted to wait for 6 bams, and he just fed me my 7. Usually people collect this outside hand not very often because it's just too cheap and too tricky due to its points. Some people collect because they count points rather good. They are used to count every single point. People who are not sure in their calculations usually don't go for outside hand, for small fan hands. And here I can see an interesting thing it is. It can be pure shifted chows with step 1. I have 3s, the core part of this fan. Pure shifted chows with step 1. It's the core, but I also need 1, 2, and 5. I hope I'll take them soon. And I also need the 4th set. It can be something like either 1, 2, 3 bams or 6, 7, 8 cracks. 5, 6, 7 cracks, anything. Okay. Not very lucky player to my left, discards reds. I can declare Bang of 1s, of course. 4 is not very useful, because I have a stronger form, so to say. A better form, which allows to take 6, 5, or 8. And as long as I don't need this 4 for any chow, I'd better discard it now. When you know what to hold and what to discard, it's better to discard dangerous, possibly dangerous tiles firstly. You see, I'm also not very lucky with these tiles from the wall. I hope that my tiles are somewhere deeper. My 5, by the way, not very nice. Okay, 6 I'll discard. And 6 cracks I'll discard also, and 3 bams. But another 2. Another plan, if I pick 2 dots from the wall now, I can go for pure shifted punks. Okay, chow it is. Another plan, yet another plan. I can collect pure triple chow 2, 3, 4, but only if I take another 2 and another 4. For pure shifted chows I need the last 1 and the last 5, but for pure shifted chows I need the last 2 and 1 of 2 remaining 4s. Let's see, maybe the player to my left will discard another 2 dots, or I can pick the last 1 dots, for example, from the wall and wait for the last 5. I just hope that they won't be discarded before I make ready hand. What about 7? 4 6s discarded. No one can declare something like 5 6 7 or 6 7 8. It's still useful for 7 8 9 or for pang of 7s. Maybe the player to my left waits just for 7 dots for a pang. Another 9. Looks like somebody has pair of 9s. Possibly the player to my right, as long as it wasn't needed to the opposite player. Maybe the player to my right. Maybe the player to my right collects pairs, by the way. Ouch. Too bad. Yes. This is it, and I am waiting for the last 2 dots. 1 was there. 2 I have in my hand, and what about the last one? Nobody needs it, but somebody may hold it just in defense, just not to let me collect pure triple chow. The player to my left. Haha. No, I don't need it. The player to my left wants something, collect some hand. The player to my right maybe tries to defend. No, pairs. Pairs, as I suspected, yes. That's why she didn't take pang of 9s. Lucky her, my 2 dots was in the wall. And this can be somehow flush, as long as I have 2 pairs of winds, but which flush, so to say, which suit? I can't decide yet. What about the player to my left? Did she abandon the game? No. Yes, I'd rather discard BAMs and cracks, and maybe I'll collect half flush in dots with some wins. The player to my left possibly left the game. Such a game of birds. Too bad. She didn't lose many points. Minus 16, what is it? The opposite player has minus 36 and still plays. Minus 50. Minus 56. Minus 55, sorry. Minus 55 and still plays. He knows that it's not a problem to take some sell, for example, the same 7 pairs, but from the wall and win. But why the player to my left decides to leave the table? That's very curious. Not a competitive behavior at all. Okay, 4 is safe. I need 2 dots. I need another south, preferably. Maybe white, maybe south. Some honors I need. But, mark this. The player to my right doesn't discard honors. Maybe she wants knitting. By the way, maybe she wants knitting. The opposite player wants possibly half flush in BAMs. Maybe pure straight in BAMs. Let's discard firstly some dangerous tiles, as I told, as long as they can be safe now, but they can become dangerous later. It will be too bad if the player to my left has my wests and my souths. Anyway, I'm trying to collect half flush. It's an obvious hand. I don't collect half flush often because it's just not a very misguiding hand, so to say. You may collect chows and people won't know you collect chows, but with half flush it's too obvious. Okay, I picked another west from the wall. That's good. I just need 2 dots. You see, I melded pang of 5s because I didn't have 4 and I didn't hope for 4 dots. In that form, 1, 3, 5, 5, that was just good because I didn't hope for 4 and I didn't get 4 for now. Okay. I can pick white, I can pick another 5, I can pick 2. This 4 sticks to 3 really, and I can declare 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, anything. It's a long deal because the player to my right collects something interesting. Some irregular structure looks like it. Some knitting. And the player to my left is just a bot, Tsumagiri bot. And the opposite player wants something curious. 4 BAMs goes to the opposite. Yes, knitting. And here we can see a mixed straight. Okay. From the player to my left, from the bot really. But I'm still at the second place. The player to my right. The player to my right. Won with 7 pairs. And 7 pairs were more expensive than my hand. Than what I collected in the first deal. And I need to get to the first place, and I need to win this hand. Win anything. Anything at all. Let's just take them. Maybe I'll collect low over 4. Maybe I'll collect some chows simply. For example, mixed straight with 4 dots. I mean 1, 2, 3 BAMs. 7, 8, 9 cracks and 4, 5, 6 dots. Four, 5, 6 dots. I need to take some dots, of course. Firstly, maybe I'll discard 9 and 6. Okay. It's not obvious now what I'll collect. I just melded 2 chows. And I hope to take something around 4 to make pure shift chows the step 1. If I'll take 3, 4, 5 BAMs, they'll make pure shift chows. I don't have eyes now. And I just hope I'll take some eyes later. 4. For my mixed straight. 4 and 5 dots. I need to take something from the wall. And only then I'll be able to take something from the bot, from the left. 9s I discarded. Good 9s dots. Okay. 7, 8, 9 is a way to mix straight. Or if I take something around 4, I can try to... Ouch! That could be my eyes. I discarded 2 pairs already. I mean 2 pairs in suits. I don't treat pair of souths as good eyes. But anyway... Let's see. 8 BAMs discarded once. 5. Okay. 5 dots. If the player to my left, if that bot will discard 4, it will be very nice. Another 4 dots melded. 2. I'm not sure who needs 2. Why? He could win with 3 dots, not with 2. Maybe he missed. Maybe he wanted to make a pung. Very possibly, but why? Sorry. Possibly he simply missed. He wanted to... Maybe he wanted to click pass, but clicked mahjong. That's curious. Now I need quickly 4 dots, and I can wait for 1 dots. He has to discard all those tiles melded before he'll be discarding something that he picked from the wall later. And now looks like he abandoned this game totally. Too bad. With these 2 dots, with that false mahjong, he loses 60 points because he didn't have structure. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. 3 dots would give him structure and points for half flush. But 2 dots doesn't give him structure, and then he loses 60 points. Too bad, what I can say. 2 bad players we have at the table. Not a very nice... Well, not a very nice discard as well. I can hardly wait for 1 dots now. So I have to wait for 4 BAMs or 5 BAMs, I don't know. By the way, what about 3s? What about 3s BAMs? No, 7 is useless for me. 5. I am at a fork, you see? It's really a fork. Either I collect mix straight. Mix straight it is. I am waiting for 4 dots now, as long as I picked my eyes. What about 7 dots? 2 7s discarded. I'm just considering winning with 7. That's with the last 7. All chows, last tile, and that's it. You see, I am even not offered this mahjong because I won't have enough points. Yes, that's it. Good. I collected this hand and won this table. Maybe I'll take green belt now. The player to my right, who played until the very end, She hoped for 3 bams. For the last 3, you see. I had 2 3s melded. One was to my opposite discarded. And the last one was here. Maybe the player to my opposite would discard the 3 soon, but she just unluckily picked these 4 dots and fed me my mixed straight. And what about... Yes, about my pure shifted choice with step 1, it depended on the last 3 bams, which wasn't available, and I had no pair for it, no eyes for this plan. So that was my luck, that I picked 5 and 6 dots and finally won with mixed straight. Very good. We received 20 points each from the player to my opposite, as long as he lost 60 points. These 60 points are paid to each other player, so we received 20 received the player to my right, 20 received I. That's why I have 77 and not 57. And the player to my left, who didn't play the last 2 deals, but even she got those 20 points due to that false mahjong. Okay, I took some hands in this game. Thanks all.